Hello, I'm Carla. This is Kim. Thank you for joining us today. Our practice today is a twist class. With twists, you have to be aware of it's a lateral extension. So the lateral side of the body is the outer edges of the body. And as you twist those sides of the body, they want to turn and lengthen, and you have to be aware of the evenness in your spine and also the length of your spine. So don't twist on a slumped spine. Also, don't twist on a skew spine. We'll use a lot of props in class today because twists are better with support, especially if you are a beginner. So a couple of blankets, your regular yoga bricks, yoga strap, and also a chair is going to be useful in today's practice. If you have any structural injuries to your spine, any back issues, or any concerns that you have about participating in the twist class, then do just check with your physician and make sure that anything that feels painful or uncomfortable, listen to your body and just stop. Don't do that part of the practice. We're going to begin with crossed legs. So if you've been sitting for a while, you can change the cross of the legs and get into the habit of changing the cross of the legs. This is a pose called Swastikasana. In Swastikasana, you want to move the flesh of the buttocks, just adjust the buttocks so you're on the buttock bones. And also, if in Swastikasana, when you sit down, your sacrum, this lower part of the spine, if the sacrum slumps down, you want to move up from the sacrum, from the lowest part of the spine, coming onto the very pinpoint of the buttock bones. Taking a blanket for support under the buttocks does assist in getting that lift of the spine. Get especially also that lift of the sides of the trunk. So we're extending the sides of the body today in our twists. Bring the hands together in the prayer position. And on an exhalation, just let your eyes close. With the eyes closed, draw your focus inward to Swastikasana, to your body in this pose, to your breath in this pose. What body adjustments you need to make in Swastikasana to keep that alertness of the spine, the openness of the chest. How you use your breath to adjust the pose, so the exhalation to bring the shoulder blades in and the abdomen back. How the breath feels in the pose, so the inhalation helps to get that lift and extension and openness. The exhalation brings a sense of calmness to the pose, so relax the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. Relax the groins and let the knees just settle down. If you're experiencing any pain in the knees or the hips, the groins, then take more height. We'll begin the class with the 3 Oms. On the next inhalation, draw up your spine to its fullest length. On an exhalation, relax and soften any areas of tension and draw the head down, taking the chin towards that little notch between the collarbones. On the next exhalation, release your hands onto your lap, lift your head up and open your eyes. Right, in this Swastikasana position, just uncross your legs to Dandasana. In Dandasana, you want to just let the knees relax, especially if they were taking strain in that folded leg position. So we're coming now to Dandasana. And in Dandasana, you're sitting again on a little bit of support. So you're going to turn to face that side. So extend your legs along your mat and you're sitting on a little bit of support in Dandasana. Dandasana, the hands are at the side and your palms are pressing into the floor. So if your arms don't reach, you need to lengthen the arms. If your arms are too long, you need to lengthen the spine. Here, you want to, again, make sure that the sacrum is coming into the body and the whole spine is moving into the body. With the spine in the body, you're opening up across the collarbones, taking that front shoulder back, locking the elbows, again, extending the arms, extending into the palm of the hand. As you exhale, settle the thighs down. So through the knees are firm, the quadricep muscles are drawing up absolutely, but it's not that you're tightening the muscle, it's more that you want to settle the thighs down. So pacify the thigh and press it down as you extend the spine and lift it up. In Dandasana, there's various arm positions you can do. Urdhva Hastasana is one of them, taking arms over the head. And that is how we're going to approach Parshva Dandasana. Parshva means turning to the side. So keeping the sacrum in and the spine alert, especially the shoulder blade region. Keeping the legs grounded on an inhalation, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, start to turn. When the shoulders and the arms feel tight and heavy, you'll release your arms. You can press into the fingertips behind you to get length and stability in the spine. Kim has rolled her hand out here, so that helps to roll the bicep open and open this armpit. If you struggle with twist though, you can turn the hand, hold onto that thigh, and with the elbow bent, scoop that shoulder blade into the body. So you're turning to the right side first, and the left shoulder blade comes into the body. Keep breathing. Each time you exhale, you turn a little bit more to the right. You can move this right hand closer to the left buttock. Keep the neck free as you turn the head. And then have a look that you haven't dropped one side of the body. So generally the side that you're coming from, you need to lift into that armpit chest region. Exhale. You don't have to lift your arms up. Exhale, just come back to center, back to Dandasana. Soften here. Feel the effects of that twist on the sides of the body, on the spine, where you're holding tension in the neck and the shoulders. So just be with your body and your breath. Then come to that full alert Dandasana where you engage the legs, you extend the spine, extend the sides of the body. Urdhva Hastasana, arms up overhead. As you exhale, turn with that exhalation, take the arms down. You can either use the hand gripping the thigh to help pull you around. So the side that you're coming from, this shoulder blade absolutely has to move into the body. And the side that you're going towards, that side of the chest and arm has to open up. You're keeping the chest level. In the final stages of the pose, you turn the back of the hand to get more openness in this armpit. And if your neck has the capacity, turn to look past that left shoulder. And you've been there for a few breaths. Each inhalation lengthening the spine, each exhalation deepening the twist. Release back to Dandasana. Again, just be in the soft, quiet, still Dandasana, just enjoying that fullness of the breath again, and release. So we're coming to Jatara Parivartanasana. In Jatara Parivartanasana, we're doing it with bent legs, so you don't need any support. However, if you do, you might want a blanket for your head. So if you tend to press your head into the floor when you are doing any abdominal kind of exercises, then absolutely a blanket for underneath your head. If you have a neck injury, what you do is you grab the edge of your blanket, create a little fold to support just the neck, make sure it feels nice and smooth. There's no ridges in the blanket, otherwise it is going to be uncomfortable. And you lie down there with your neck supported on that little roll. So you can move down a little bit then. Yeah. So the neck support is there. Is that enough neck support for you? All right, great. So again, with abdominals, you tend to tighten into the neck and the shoulders. So be aware of that. With each exhalation, try and soften into that area, as difficult as it may be. Arms are extended out at your sides. So palms facing down is one way of doing it. It gives you a bit more stability. If you want to increase your intensity, you're going to turn the palm to face up to the ceiling. That also rolls the bicep and helps to keep the chest nice and lifted. Bending the knees to your chest. As if you're hugging your knees, you're going to bring the knees close to the chest. On an exhalation, you'll drop the knees over to the right-hand side. So as you take the knees over, you can rest the foot on the floor first and then the knee. And if that goes okay, then you settle there. You can use your hand to intensify the twist. If, and for whatever reason, you're unable to get the knees, and so lift up back to center, you're unable to get the knees and the feet on the floor, you can take some support so that you're not aggravating the spine or hurting yourself in any way. Once you're there, again, come to the breath. Each inhalation, find this lovely length and openness of the spine. As you exhale, you press that left shoulder region down, you press the left knee down. And then in your own time, when you're ready, you come back to center. So with rolling, you may have thrown the alignment of the shoulders and the pelvis off center. So putting your feet on the floor, lift your buttocks, align yourself, prepare for the second side. So taking your knees in, keeping the knees close to the chest, you're going to exhale and take the knees over. So you bring the knees high up, right towards the arm. You don't keep the knees down here in line with your hips. So there's a tightness, a shortening in that abdominal region almost, then twist. As you exhale, right shoulder blade, right knee descend simultaneously. Inhalations, open the chest and get that full length by really working on moving the groin, the outer hip region on the right leg away from your chest. When you've been there for a few breaths, back to upright. You can put your feet on the floor once again and just align yourself. Take your hands at your sides. Take a few breaths there. When you're ready, bend your knees, roll onto your side. And we're coming up. Right. So we're coming into Utkatasana. For this first Utkatasana, we're going to use the support of a chair. All right. So the chair is just going to be behind you. So it gives you courage to sit. When you're coming to sit in Utkatasana, you have to, with your feet together, you have to sit, lift the shins, draw the buttocks back as if you're sitting down. And most of us tend to not sit deeply enough in Utkatasana. So using a chair is going to, first of all, give you the courage to do the pose, because if you fall too low, at least something is going to catch you. And using the chair also is going to help you so that you can kind of deepen your bend. It's safer to do it this way. So it's going to give you that sort of courage to descend also. Right, so coming to stand in front of the chair, you can keep your feet hip distance apart if you need to. And if for whatever reason you're unable to take your knees together, then even taking a shoulder balance foam to clasp the knees against is a good idea. Feet are together, legs are together for Utkatasana, the classic pose, unless you're keeping them apart for whatever reason. Urdhva Hastasana, arms go up. On an exhalation, you want to lengthen the flesh of the buttocks down, deepen the groins, move back, and you're just trying to touch down on the seat of the chair. Be there for a few breaths, very strong, sharp breaths. When you're ready, press into the feet, straighten up the legs, lift your chest and your arms to come up, and release your hands at your sides. Utkatasana, Ut means intense. This is a very strong, intense pose. Yeah. So when you're doing Utkatasana, repeat it. Do it as many times as you can, and just hold it for only as short as you can. It's fine. You'll eventually develop the strength. As you exhale, your buttocks are going to come back and seek out the chair, and try not to sit on it. You want to lift the chest, lift the arms some more. So lift the gaze to get that lift. Keep the shin lifted so that you're not taking the weight to the toes, the knees aren't plummeting forward. When you're ready, pressing into the heels of the foot, straighten up the legs. When you're in Tadasana, have a rest. Just a few things to note in Utkatasana. So if in Utkatasana you tend to, so if in Tadasana, you tend to arch the back, in Utkatasana, you'll tend to arch the back also, and you're trying to get that length of the spine, the buttocks descending down. If when you stand, you pop your groins forward, in Utkatasana, you might do the same thing. The groins have to roll back, the shins have to lift up, all right? So Utkatasana, practice it, practice it. It's a strong, excellent pose. Parshva Utkatasana, we actually are going to first do Pasasana before we do Parshva Utkatasana. So Pasasana is easier done on a chair. What you're going to do in Pasasana is you're going to sit on the chair and you're coming into a twist. So have a seat. Any chair will do, dining room chair, a little stool is fine. Bringing the hands into the prayer position is easier. Exhale, and as you twist, turn to the right. So you hook you bring the left shoulder around, you hook down into the pose, into the twist. You try and hook your knees with your arm, roll this right shoulder back. Keep the buttocks on the chair. Then coming up, you're going to twist to the left. As you twist to the left, use the exhalation. Exhale down, hook that knee on the outside. This connection here between the knees and the elbow is so important in some of the poses that we're doing later in the practice. So feel that. Try to get the whole right side of the body to descend to the left. Then back to center and up you come. Right. So Parshva Utkatasana. Parshva means going to the side. You can still use your chair if you want to, but it's not necessary. You come into an Utkatasana position, you're taking the hands into the Parshva position like we just did. So you can go from the front is perfect. From Tadasana, Urdhva Hastasana, exhale, come to Utkatasana, and then exhale, hands into, oh, look at you conveniently by the wall. Hands in the prayer position, turn and go into the twist. So if, like Kim, you'd like to take the support of the wall is one of your favorite friends in a yoga practice. When you're ready, you're trying to keep the knees aligned, especially as you got the support of the wall, and then release out of the twist, come up, stand, have a rest. So to show from the side, if you line yourself up that you can settle the sacrum on the wall, you can come into that pose there. So if you can do it free, you do it free. If you'd like to do it in the chair, you do it in the chair. Utkatasana, off you go. So Parshva Utkatasana leads us into Pasasana. Pasasana, the noose pose. It's a really, really tight twist. Keep lining the knees. Keep extending that front spine, opening the chest. Good job there. Shoulders away from the ears. And don't forget to breathe. Exhale, twist, exhale, twist. When you're ready, up you come and release. So onto all fours. Toes together, knees apart, Adho Mukha Virasana for a rest. Toes together, knees apart. Keep the buttocks grounded towards the heels if you can. If you need support under the buttocks, absolutely take it. If you're using this pose, Adho Mukha Virasana, as a restorative pose, you might want to have some support, either the shoulder balance foams or blankets for your head. Keep the hands shoulder distance apart so that there's space and freedom for the top neck. As a restorative, and especially because we've still got a lot of practice ahead, you might want to rest your elbows on the floor to give your shoulders, your arms a little bit more of a rest. We're coming now into Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward facing dog position. So it's an active pose. Extend the arms forward. Hands are in line with the shoulders. You're going to come up onto all fours and then turn the toes under, take the feet hip distance apart, lift to Adho Mukha Svanasana. It's the first Adho Mukha Svanasana for the day. So stretch the legs, stretch the arms, stretch the sides of the body. If you were a pendant hanging on a necklace, this front groin would be the point that the chain holds you. So lift up and extend there, let go of the head. Press into the thumbs and the index fingers, lock the elbows, forearms away from the floor. We're coming into a lunge. So if you can step your hand in between your foot in between your hands, you do. So right foot steps forward. If you need and you sort of stop halfway, you can use your hand to bring that foot forward. In this lunge position, we're coming to Anjaneyasana. Anjaneyasana, you want to extend the back of this leg fully, and then stay down. Yeah, extend the back of the leg fully, and then with this full extension, take the knee to the floor. Keep that length in the front side, turn the toes under, and press the shin into the floor. So this is now the foot of the pose. The right hip shouldn't lift up, square off the hips, and then pressing into this shin, bring the hands to the prayer position or on top of your knee. If you don't feel stable, you can always rest your hands on your knee, lifting the chest. If you're able to, take the arms up over your head, palms apart or together, whatever is within your practice. As you exhale, if you sit into that right buttock, you get a deeper extension on that left quadricep. Breathe. Keep your gaze steady. Keep breathing. And then on an exhalation, bring the hands down, hands next to the foot, and turning the toes under, step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. If you are a beginner, if you do struggle with these poses at any point in time, you take your knees to the floor, your toes together, knees apart, and you rest in this Adho Mukha Virasana position. All right? So do take care, do listen to your body. So will you turn around and face that wall now, Kim? We're going to show what to do when you cannot lunge your leg forward. So from downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Virasana to get the distance, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Now Kim's going to step the left foot forward, but she's unable to, so whoops, the foot is going to stop somewhere here. So what to do? You just use your left hand, bring the foot closer. Slowly, as you can work on bricks, not very stable, but slowly as you develop in your practice, it will get there. You want to keep both sides of the body long, so lengthen this left side of the body. The root of the left thigh has to move away. You want nice legs. With a completely stretched right leg, take the knee to the floor, turn the toes, press that shin down, keeping the buttocks low. You want to bring the hands either on the knee, so go onto the knee to show, on the knee to stabilize yourself. When that goes okay, hands in the prayer position, lift your chest, look up, and take the hands up. Listen to your body in this pose. Keep breathing. Any poses that you struggle with, breathe. Don't hold the breath. The back knee here, if you needed a blanket for support, absolutely take it. Once you've been in this Anjaneyasana for a few breaths, take the hands down on either side of the foot. And again, turning the back toes under, we are stepping into Adho Mukha Svanasana. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, toes together, knees apart. Adho Mukha Virasana to rest. Okay. We're coming back to Adho Mukha Virasana, back through the Anjaneyasana lunge, and we're coming into the twist of Pajva Konasana. So Pajva Konasana is this, when you come through Virabhadrasana to Pajva Konasana, the side angle pose. So Parivrita is when you revolve. So we're going to work it from Anjaneyasana because it's just much simpler to approach it that way. So Adho Mukha Virasana, get your distance, come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now your Adho Mukha Svanasana sort of loosening up a little bit. So remember to keep that sacrum into the body, extend the legs, open the backs of the knees fully. So be active in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now, step the right leg forward. Again, use your hands if you need. Take a nice big step forward. This back leg, you're going to bend and take the knee to the floor and turn the toes under. Now, come back to Anjaneyasana where you had your hands in the prayer position at your chest. And as we did against the chair and for Utkatasana, exhale, twist. See, can you bring this left side of the arm around so much and hook the right side? It can be wobbly. What you want to do is maybe have a brick on the outside of that right foot in case you fall over, or even the chair works nicely. Lift the chest, deepen that bend so that you're at a 90-degree bend, deepen the bend, and then release, coming back to center, move into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, left foot forward. Again, remember, if you need to break in between, come to Adho Mukha Virasana in between. Left foot forward, stabilize the back leg. We are doing it from Anjaneyasana, where we bringing the knee to the floor, we're stabilizing that back shin, come into hands in the prayer position. In your own time, exhale. Use that exhalation to turn. Get that bind of that right elbow and the left knee. Very nice. Opening the chest. Those same openings you had when we were lying on the floor in Jathara Parivartanasana. When you've been here for a few breaths, you will exhale, release, and come back to the lunge. So just an aside, if you were developing your practice and this becomes easy, you then do it with the leg up, all right? Not the knee down. Come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, have a rest. Right, from Adho Mukha Svanasana, you're going to walk your hands and feet closer to each other, come to Ardha Uttanasana, the half Uttanasana, and then firm legs, long spine, inhale and come up. Right, so we're going to go into Pajvottanasana, and from Pajvottanasana, we're working into Parivrita Trikonasana. Pajvottanasana, because in Pajvottanasana, you're already in position with the hips. I'm here, I'm extended, I'm already in position to move into Parivrita Trikonasana. So Pajvottanasana is a nice way to work into your twist poses, all right? So if you need a set of bricks, it is, you'll have 2 bricks working right from Pajvottanasana. If you are a beginner and you just want to step your right foot forward, step your left foot back, that's fine. Otherwise, standing in the middle of your mat, bring your fingertips to your chest, and then on an inhalation, jump the feet apart or step. Now you can take your hands on your hips just to align the hips. Turn the back foot deeply, turn the whole front leg completely, turn the hips to face your bricks. So which leg have you got forward? Your left leg. Okay, so we'll go to the right side first. So turning to the right, you'll take bring that left hip forward, suck that right thigh up and move that right thigh back. You want that narrowness in the pelvic region, come onto your bricks. Of course, if you don't need your bricks, don't take your bricks. Initially, the bricks are nice to help you stabilize the legs, to help you square off the hips, get that sacrum aligned. When you're ready, well, keeping this left hip pointing towards that right foot. When you're ready, move your right, you can move the bricks down. Good job. You're going to move the right hand into your sacrum and bring the left hand across. Try to have the brick on the outside of the right foot, quite close to the right ankle. And then again, legs are strong. And it's that same twist we did earlier, where you bring that shoulder blade in on that left side. The right side of the chest has to open up and move back. In the classic position, if you're able to, you would then extend the right arm up to the ceiling, arms perpendicular to the floor. Then on an exhalation, release back down to Pajvottanasana. You stabilize the legs, extend the spine and the chest forward to come up. Strong legs, press into the feet. Turn the feet to face forward. Or if you're a beginner, you'll just step the feet together and then step apart again. Now we're turning to the left. Left foot turns out, right foot turns in. Don't be too wide, but this is also not quite enough distance. So take your right leg back a bit more. Yes. So be at least 4 feet apart. Now turn the hips. Turn the hips. You can always do this pose up against the wall so that you can use the wall for support and balance. Once you've got the hips turned, come onto the bricks. It's much easier to square off the hips when you're on the bricks. So firm up the legs here, bring that right hip bone to point towards that left foot, move the left hip back. You want to get the sacrum level, spine into the body. Now, stabilize the legs. As you exhale, you're going to come to the twist. So the right arm moves to the outside of the left foot, the left arm moves to the sacrum. Find your twist. If as a beginner you find it difficult to bring the arm on the outside of the left foot, keep the arm on the inside. When you're ready, keep firming the legs, keep extending the spine, extend the arm up. Hold for a few breaths there. And then when you're ready, exhale, release, come to Parsvottanasana. Again, stabilize the hips, firm up the legs, pressing the feet into the mat, you're going to come up. Come up. Once you are up, if you step the feet together to go into the pose, you'll step them together. Otherwise, turn the feet, jump the feet together, Tadasana. Parivrtta Trikonasana is a challenging pose. So enjoy this Tadasana, let there be softness, find your breath again, feel the effects of the pose on your body, feel how your body feels after having done such a powerful pose. We're going to repeat Parivrtta Trikonasana. It is such an incredible pose that you do want to do it regularly, and it actually is very beneficial for a lot of back conditions and back issues. So you're going to have your bricks to the back of your mat, and we're going to approach the pose now through Vimasana. So Vimasana, your arms are out in line with your shoulders when you turn. So bring the fingertips to the chest. Inhale, step or jump the feet apart. Now, a little bit too wide, I think. Yeah. So be stable, be wide enough now. And also line up your feet. Now you're going to turn that right foot all the way out, turn the left foot, turn the hips, and turn the arms. So the arms swing out like an aeroplane. Now, as you exhale, you're going to keep the arms like an airplane. You're going to exhale and get your left hand onto the brick on the outside of or the inside of the right foot. So see what works for you. If the brick doesn't feel very stable for you, having the support of the chair is much nicer because it's not as low down and you've got the whole seat to stabilize you. Hold it. Come back, stand, and have a rest. You can take the feet together for the rest or keep them apart. Now we're prepared to do the other side. So line up your feet, extend the arms, and again, you're going to turn the feet, turn the arms from the hips. So turn the hips. Then don't stop. Keep turning, exhale, and as you go, reach for the brick. Each exhalation, you're deepening the twist. Each inhalation, you're finding openness, extension in the legs, the arms, the spine, the chest. Breathe. And then when you're ready, exhale, and on an inhalation or an exhalation, come up. Feel what works for you. Turn the feet, step the feet together. So you exhale on a forceful action, and if you need a little bit more oomph to get up, you use the exhalation. The inhalation, however, gives you buoyancy, and sometimes you can reach up on the inhalation. So in these kinds of poses, feel what works for you. Coming to Vimasana, so Vimasana prepares you for Trikonasana. You also do Vimasana when you're going into Virabhadrasana 1. But Vimasana is also a great pose to try and practice your Parsvakonasana. Okay, so Parivrtta Parsvakonasana is, again, we said that we did it already in the lunge, Anjaneyasana. So stand facing in the middle of your mat. You'll have your breath again behind you. And you're going to bring your fingertips to the chest and jump your feet apart. Now we're coming to Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. So turn to Vimasana first. Turn the feet. In this position, like in Virabhadrasana 1, bend the front leg. And then exhale, twist, and take your hand onto the outside of the knee. If you can keep this top hand in the waist. If you don't need it, don't take it. So this is exactly what we did in the lunge where the foot was on the floor, right? Now on an inhalation or exhalation, come up. And if you need to bring the feet together in between, you do, right? So again, extending the arms, getting ready. Inhale, as you exhale, turn. Inhale, as you exhale, bend the knee, come to your twist. Taking the top hand in the waist is much easier, or on the sacrum. And generally, we tend to unbend that knee, so sink the hips, bend that knee a bit more. So Kim could have been a little bit wider, and you also want to keep your weight to the back. It's a challenging process. Inhale, release, and come out of it. Turn the feet. Bring the feet together. You can always, again, try that pose, as we said, from the lunge, where then to intensify it, you lift that back foot. Right. We're going to release now in Prasarita Padottanasana. So feet are apart. If you need bricks, you take bricks. Otherwise, bring your fingertips underneath your shoulders. Having a rest here. Catching your breath. Prasarita Padottanasana is a wonderful release after standing poses. It's also a very good pose in itself, but it's also a wonderful pose to prepare for Shirshasana. So if you don't yet have a head balance practice, this pose is excellent to start to develop your Shirshasana in terms of getting the head down. So once you have the flexibility, you move the hands back. And the more you move your hands back, you start to descend the head down in preparation for Shirshasana, head balance. You can take as long as you need in this recovery pose. When you're ready, you walk your hands forward. With the hands forward, firm, strong legs. Inhale, extend the chest, come up. And start to walk the feet back together. So don't just jump. When it becomes comfortable, you can step or jump the feet together. Right. So if you do Shirshasana head balance, you're going to prepare and do head balance. This is an online class, so if you don't practice head balance, then please, now is not the platform to do it. Find yourself a teacher in the area or get in touch and work on your head balance with the assistance of somebody who knows how to get you into it safely. It also is advisable that you have quite an established practice before you do Shirshasana anyway. So if you are not doing Shirshasana, coming onto all fours at an angle near the wall, you're going to get your buttocks against the wall. You're going to roll onto your side, buttocks against the wall, legs up the wall, and you will rest here in Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. When you come out, you roll out of it, and we'll continue with the practice. If you are doing Shirshasana, if you're unable to balance, you will use the support of the wall. So you're going to be close to the wall when you do your Shirshasana. But if you're able to balance, you can set up in the middle of the room. We're doing normal Shirshasana 1, interlacing the fingers. Right, so the triangle, you want to focus your balance on those 3 points. The 2 elbows and the wrists, where the head is going to go. You want to keep the back of the neck long and let the head settle down between the wrists so that the back of the head here rests along that palm. So tuck in your chin ever so slightly more. Okay, now from here, you want to keep the shoulders alert, lift your knees. If you just dump the shoulders, the weight collapses onto the head and the neck takes all the strain. You want to keep the shoulders lifted away from the ears, keep the forearms pressing into the floor, forearms lifted. Then you're coming into Shirshasana. Shirshasana, you either go into it 1 leg at a time or 2 legs, whatever you find comfortable. And you're trying to keep an alertness throughout the whole body. So you with your body, you are with your breath. You keep exhaling, pressing into the forearms. As you press into the forearms, you lift the upper arm, lift the sides of the trunk, lift the sides of the thighs, extend all the way up. For many of us, the outer ankle bulges and the outer edge of the foot, the small toe side, is the highest point. But actually from the inner line of the foot, extend to the inner heel to the big toe mound. Keep the gaze soft. You're not staring at anything. You want to line up from the shoulder joint, the hip joint, the knee joint, the ankle joint. So it's a nice straight pose. Parshva Shirshasana. Parshva means turning, means side. So we're going to turn to the side. Now in Parshva Shirshasana, I'm just going to support Kim here. You're going to keep the shoulder girdle exactly as it is. With the shoulder girdle as it is, the pelvic girdle is going to turn against the shoulder girdle, trying to keep the feet together. Then lift the shoulders, come back to center. Lift the shoulders, turn to the other side. Keep the shoulders lifted and stable. The pelvis twists against the shoulder girdle, exactly like a pepper mill. And then when you are ready, you'll exhale and release out of it in your own time. If you practice Parshva, if you do go into the twist, you're welcome to do it another time. So 2 or 3 goes at it, but feel in your own body. When you've had enough, come down. Shirshasana, rest when you come down. Let the head stay down. For some people, taking the arms back in the classic child's pose is more comfortable. For other people, arms forward. But you feel your own body. You do whatever feels comfortable for you. Take time to release. Let the body just kind of come back to its normal orientation. Don't be hasty. Right. If you had your legs up the wall, you also would just bend your knees and roll to come out of it. So we're just going to finish off with some challenging little poses. These require a little bit of upper body strength. So if you do not have the upper body strength, the only thing you can do is just keep practicing and practice safely. Use bolsters for support. I'll show you how. So Malasana squat, classic Malasana squat. The feet are together, but you can take the feet hip distance apart. You can even, but don't tell anybody I said so, take the feet slightly out, if that's how you want to first practice and develop your Malasana squat. So in the Malasana squat, you want your heels down. For a lot of people, the heels come up. They cannot get their buttocks down. So that is why wide-legged helps, all right? Kim is just going to spend time there, extend the heels down, keep working, keep working, keep working. If you're able to get the feet together, you're going to come down and then separate the knees to come a little bit into the middle of the thigh. So this Malasana squat is so important for learning Bakasana as a beginner, especially when you get this upper thigh and the inner thigh and the lines of the body, sides of the body connection. So here you want your knee right up into your upper arm. So come out of it. You can repeat it a number of times, practice it. It's a really good one to practice. If you are doing Bakasana or attempting Bakasana, having a bolster is very useful so that you don't face plant and bleed all over your mat. So again, we're coming to Bakasana. As a beginner in Bakasana, you tend to have your knees on top of your elbows and the bum goes up. If that's you, fine. We're working at refining it. So Malasana squat in front of your bolster. You want to really get the sides of your trunk in there, into the thighs, bury it into the inner thighs, trying to get your knee as high up onto the armpit as possible. At first, you'll keep the knees bent. It's advisable to move the hands back into the shin, and then don't think of lifting your bum and taking your weight on your hands. You're shifting your weight. So apply pressure into the hands. You need that, but lift your chest, slide the chest forward, slide the chest forward, slide the chest forward. And with the chest sliding forward, the feet can hopefully come up. All right. If you just lift your bum and take the weight on the arms, it's a lot of weight. You lift your bum, your head comes down, you plummet. So it's this breastbone has to go forward. Yes, you're looking up, breastbone goes forward. Do 1 foot at a time if you need. And the more you practice, the better you get. And if you just touch that 1 second, suddenly you're doing a few more seconds on your own. Know that in the classic pose, you're going to straighten the arms, so you really want that knee right up into the upper arm, but into the armpit. But that takes a lot of time and practice. And this is exactly why we have the bolster. So you're going to keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing. Right, we did Parsasana in the chair. Now, I can't do it either, but if you find Bakasana super easy, and if you find twists really easy, then what you might want to try is the revolved crow, the Pajva Bakasana, where instead of coming to the crow from the front position, you're going to come to your twist like we did in Parsasana, where you had your hands here, but now you're taking your hands on the floor. Have your bolster to prepare you, and then from there you lean onto the arms and you lift the feet. So once my injury has recovered, we'll get back to that. Right, Adho Mukha Virasana to rest. Especially if you held it for a long time, you can rest in Adho Mukha Virasana. If you didn't do too many, if you are unable to do too many, then you're going to turn around, lie down on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana. So those are two restoratives. We are coming to Halasana and shoulder balance. So to catch your breath, to just soften and relax your shoulders here, come up, turn onto your back, lie down with your arms at your sides, your toes, your feet together, your knees apart, Baddha Konasana. Especially in Bakasana, there's sometimes that scrunching in the abdomen. Here, Supta Baddha Konasana, you get a nice spread, a nice openness to release the diaphragm, release the abdomen. Also have a chance to rest the shoulders, to catch your breath before preparing for shoulder balance. Shoulder balance is called Salamba Sarvangasana. In Iyengar yoga, we use foams to give a little bit of height for the neck to be free and for the pose to be a little bit safer. And we also use a strap to keep the elbows together. If you don't have foams, you can just use a bunch of sturdy blankets or throws, and they are just 4 A4 size foams, sturdy, hard foam. So coming up, the way we set up for shoulder balance, Kim will show you how to measure the strap. You're going to measure your strap from outer shoulder to outer shoulder. And then once you put the strap on behind you, you should be able to comfortably get your arms at your side. So put it on behind you to show. Come stand here. So if she bends her arms, she should be able to comfortably get the arms at the side. You're taking your 4 foams, setting them up 2 and 2. You'll take a blanket over them, first of all, to hold them together. Also gives you a nice slippery surface so that when you come onto it, your neck will slide. You'll take your butt that side. You also want some blanket for your head. You're not giving yourself a great big folded blanket for your head, just some nice softness, and make sure that it's not too big so that you can still bring your feet over the side in Halasana. So lying on your back in the middle of the mat. When you lie down, the earlobe is in line with the edge of the support. So this part of the support is for the shoulder. She's going to roll her top shoulder onto that support. So keep your feet over your head. If you cannot get your feet over to the floor, pretend on a wall, you would set up near a wall and you would take your feet to a wall or to a bench. This is Halasana. If you're able to do it, great. We're going to go to Pajva Halasana. So without putting the strap on just yet, keeping the strap just linked on your elbow, supporting your head. Pajva, we said, is to the side. So Pajva Konasana, walk your feet to the side. Pajva Konasana, if she bends her knees now, both knees on the outside of her ear, bend the knees, that is Pajva Karnapidasana. Straighten the legs, move back to the center, back to Halasana. Bend the knees, one knee on either side of the ear, Karnapidasana. Straighten the legs, walk to the other side. We're going through these rather quickly because they are quite intense if you're a beginner. Bending the knees, Pajva Karnapidasana to the other side, straightening up back to center. But again, back to Karnapidasana. Karna is ear, Pida is pressure, so you're putting pressure on the ear. Straightening the legs to Halasana. placing your strap on. Cut the outer upper arm in, so you're on the outer upper arm with the strap holding the elbows in position. You support your back and you come up, either one leg at a time or two legs. So shoulder balance, Salamba Sarvangasana. You want the back of the neck long, the throat soft. The thighs have to move back. Front thigh moves back, middle buttock moves in. So Kim is able to get a really nice straight line from the shoulder through the hip, through the knee, through the ankle. For a lot of people in the beginning, the buttock moves back. So the buttock moves back and the front groin folds. And you're trying to get that straight line. So you keep reaching up, keep the back of the neck long, the throat soft. As you reach up through the sides of the body, reach up the outer sides of the leg, the inner sides of the leg. You want to ground the elbows down. So let the body weight come to the hands. When you're holding the pose, you want your gaze soft towards the solar plexus region. But when the pose feels like it needs readjusting, it no longer feels quite so light, again, scan your body, re-stretch, move your hands. Because of this chin lock, the throat is a little bit closed, so the breath is a very soft thread of breath that keeps that flow of breath. Salamba Sarvangasana is probably one of the easiest shoulder balances or easiest of the inversions to hold. Unless, of course, you have a neck or shoulder injury, there's a few contraindications to inversions. But if you're able to hold it, this is the pose where you build your endurance in an inversion. Very, very beneficial pose for the endocrine system. Don't do it, however, if you have any blood pressure issues, any eye issues such as glaucoma, and also if you're menstruating. Right, when you're ready, take your feet over your head, back to Halasana. Finish off by removing the strap, bending your knees to one final Padma-Pidasana. So because she's on a height, it's easier to keep the toes turned under, but know that in the classic position, you would turn on the toes, bring your hands to hug your feet, hug your knees, sorry, yes. And then because this is a difficult pose to breathe in your own time, using your hands to protect your back, unroll, and then try not to roll up. So unroll slowly, keeping your head and shoulders down. And then you want to slide off. Yeah, slide off and get your head on the foam, your shoulders on the flat support. Just again, take time here just to feel your body, feel your breath. You can close your eyes so that you've got that internal focus a little bit more. Just take time here to enjoy the sensations that Salamba Sarvangasana brings to your body. And again, you get up in your own time. So whenever you feel ready, you're just going to roll onto your side. You're not feeling quite, are you ready for Shavasana? Right there. You're going to roll on your side. You're going to move all your supports out of the way for Shavasana. And in Shavasana, you might again want that same blanket with that neck roll support that we had at the beginning of class. So that could be an option for your Shavasana support. You also, if you need a bolster for under the knees, if it's easier for you than having your legs straight, then absolutely take a bolster under the knees. If you are cold, you would put a blanket on, get yourself nice and comfortable, and we're lying down for Shavasana. All other supports, you're moving away from your mat, you don't need them. If they're touching you, they're just going to be disturbing your body. So start with the knees bent. And with the knees bent, just leave the feet flat. With the knees bent, you want to allow the abdomen to settle a little bit. With the knees bent, there's also a length in the lumbar spine, so the flesh of the buttocks is down in the right shape here. And then when you straighten your legs, you straighten them one at a time. If you are using a bolster, the bolster cannot be right by the thighs. This isn't restful. So the center back knee has to line up with the center of the bolster. Some of the thigh is on, some of the calf is on. If, however, you have no issues lying flat, then you're going to just simply extend your feet, your legs along the floor. It is a good practice, especially if you're on your own, to look up and check that from the nose to the breastbone to the pubic bone, everything is a nice straight line. In Shavasana, you let the inner thigh roll to the outer thigh, so the legs turn out and the feet flop out naturally. And the same action happens in the upper arm. The bicep rolls out, the shoulders relaxed, the palm is soft, the fingers just curl naturally. Back of the neck is long. Make sure that the jaw and the throat are soft. You can close your eyes. If the space you are in, if there's a lot of light, you're welcome to either fold up your strap and just put it over your eyes, or if you have an eye bag, you'll use that. In Shavasana, pay particular attention to the breath. So Shavasana is a conscious relaxation. To hold you in this conscious state, stay with the breath. Soft, peaceful inhalation, and with each exhalation, a releasing exhalation. Let that exhalation just release all tension from the body, as if with each exhalation, you are melting down to Mother Earth. Softness in the muscles, the joints, no tension anywhere. Even the skin, especially the skin of the face, feel that the cheeks, the jaw, there's no furrowing at the eyebrows. Complete release. Take as much time as you want or need in your Shavasana. To come out of the pose, you first just bring your focus back to your breath. Start to inhale and exhale. The inhalation is becoming a little bit fuller. Inhalation, feel that energy, that vital pranic energy move to every cell of the body, touching every cell of the body. Bringing your hands onto anywhere to rest on your abdomen, anywhere where it's comfortable on your torso. Feel the breath now as it moves in and out of your body. On your next breath in, stretch your arms over your head. Give your body a lovely, long, deep stretch. Yawn or sigh the breath out. And then bending your knees, you're going to lazily roll onto your right-hand side. Rest the head in your right arm for a few moments. The left side of the body holds you in this quiet Shavasana state. When you feel that you're ready to get up, when you feel that the eyes start to want to open, then putting your left hand on the floor in front of you, finish rolling, come up, bringing the head up last, shoulders come up first, come to a seated position. Once you're in your seated position, hands in the prayer position, close your eyes again, just keep that internal focus a little bit longer. Take a few full inhalations and exhalations here. A small smile on your face. Just give thanks for the health and strength of your body. Next breath in. Let the eyes slowly begin to flutter open and focus. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you for joining us.